tonight will be presented by Justin Murky, and it has to do with the permanent art that's proposed to go in up at Oak Grove.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. I'm excited. We have another piece of permanent art coming. Pending your approval, of course. So, unfortunately, Holly Hayden, who's our art consultant, is traveling back from Phoenix today and has a weather delay, obviously.
Yeah,
So she's not joining us. I told her if she does get in town, go straight home when we come by. So, but I'll so you get the guy who knows very little about art. So. Pretty excited though about this piece. I think you'll find it exciting. Back probably 6 months ago in FYN, we let you all know that we selected the site. Arts Commission selected the site, which is the north east entrance to Oak Grove Park, which is where the big yellow X is there. We would relocate the Oak Grove Park sign if need be, depending on how things kind of shake out and where the piece goes. We'll get it relocated as needed. So we proceeded and issued an RFP, and as part of that, the Arts Commission unanimously selected an individual by the name of Joe Norman, who's out of Colorado. And I think you'll find this piece quite interesting and different than any other piece we have or any piece you've probably seen out and about. To begin with, he has a long, extensive kind of pedigree behind him. He's been doing public artwork for more than 15 years now. And has pieces kind of all over the United States. So with that being said, his piece is actually called Monarch Girl, and I'll give a little backstory on this. This is actually his daughter many years ago, and his father-in-law took this picture. And he basically makes kind of a piece that's two-sided, if you will. So it'll be one piece on one side and a totally different piece on the other side. You'll see that here in a second. So with that, on one side you'll see is a butterfly, and on the other side is his daughter who's jumping off the kind of, I don't want to call it a cliff, but what she was doing there in the picture before. And so you see a couple other pieces. So again, this is one piece, but from different directions. So as you enter the piece from one side, you can see the butterfly, and from the other side, the girl jumping, which I think lends itself to the park as a great piece. Obviously, the girl playing, then the butterfly in the park as well. And so kind of showing the size of the piece, basically we're looking at about roughly 6 foot high and then by about 5 feet wide is the size of the piece overall. And I'll show you, we're going to look at some ways to raise that up a little bit. We'll show that to you in a second. So this is kind of a three-dimensional piece that he put together, shows it from all sides of the rotating around. They're a really different kind of piece of this. And so kind of depicting it on the site as you would see it. So again, as we go to place this piece, I think it'd probably be better fit to show the girl coming from the north or south and the butterfly coming from the north or south. So you have that visual as you're driving by, not necessarily entering the park, because you wouldn't get that kind of wow factor. You would have that as you're driving up and down through stuff. So kind of show it a couple different ways there. Kind of fits it. And again, sandstone underneath that, he's proposing. So that would raise it to about 8 feet high overall, roughly speaking. Then as you exit the park, again, I'm proposing that maybe we have the view from the north and the south. So again, you see it as you're driving by, more so than just leaving the park. There's a lot more traffic you'd see it than on this big field traffic, obviously. And here's some of his past work. So I thought this was kind of impressive as well, to show you a few things. There's one here that I really like. I think our fire chief will love to have. I'll show you that here in a second. This is one that's down in Tulsa, actually says protect on one side and there's a firefighter on the other side. So a really neat piece. That was $100,000, so the chief said he'd write a check today for that.
Good one.
Yeah, right after that ladder truck gets there. So a few other pieces kind of shows you how he works these pieces. Really interesting stuff. The girl running, turning feather, that's a hawk. And some things along the roadway as well. So he's got a nice background as you get started. Then these are all of his pieces across the U.S. dating back to 2008. So again, nice amount of stuff out there. Kind of reminds me of Beth Nybeck, who we had back in 2014, 13 was our first piece. She was just kind of getting started then, or had been going for a couple of years. He's kind of right on. And he's part of this National Sculptors Guild, so this makes it exciting for us. Basically, this is a team of 4. So the artist is not the one that's actually doing the installation all by himself. He's actually got a structural engineer who's licensed in Missouri, who will obviously certify the piece or engineer the piece. And then he's got project management and behind him that's helping get that piece in. So that's advantageous to myself, who's going to be working with this team to get the piece installed. And with that, I'll take any questions you might have. It is made of stainless steel. I did leave that out. Will be custom painted. My visit with him at this point is to probably make it look like a monarch, so to speak, so orange or black painted. And it's not because myself and Councilmember Smith are Oklahoma State fans. That's really just not monarch. I'm sure that's an added bonus, right? But any questions?
What's the timeline?
So hoping to have it in by Theater in the Park, first show. So June 29th, we dedicate it, maybe during Theater in the Park. Kind of a fun thing to do. We have a big audience, be able to dedicate the piece.
Cool.
From there, he can meet that time. Okay. And Arts Commission was 100% on board, and we did take this to Park Board, and they were 100% on board. Really, no hesitation on the vote, you know.
Justin, I would want to make sure that we have a plaque designating his name and the name of it and whether it's a story about him or something. But I think that really adds to public art to be able to understand what's going on. I really want us to figure out for the bronze, that needs a sign as well.
Yeah, and I've been switching gears to this piece. I've been in contact with the art curator up Holly, and that piece came from overseas, and he does not know much about it. So that's he is trying to. I've been in communications trying to find something about it, but so far, kind of he bought it from his state. He doesn't know. But this piece certainly we know everything about it.
Really good. It's exciting.
All right, I see a lot of heads nodding.
Yeah,
So,
great.
Next council meeting, you'll see this on there, and we'll get things rolling.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Justin.
That's all we have.
All right.
Mike, what's your phone number?
816.
You can.
No, everyone's-
I want you rolling your way.
No,
Yeah, we're around.
we're good.
There.
Oh, Justin, I remember the question I was going to ask you. I saw that you have a rec specialist job open. Is that the one that's been like held for a long time?
No, it's Linden Square. Cheryl,
Oh, she quit. Oh, okay.
yeah, her son, she went to take care of him.
Oh,
There's some issue there.
okay. Ah,
Thank you to everyone who's here tonight. Madam Clerk, please note that all council members are present. We have a quorum. And if everyone will rise and we'll cite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 4 is the approval of the agenda. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to make a change in the agenda for this evening? Seeing none, the agenda will stand as presented. Item number 5 is the approval of the December 11th, 2023 closed city council meeting minutes.
Mayor Moore,
Councilor Mallons.
I move to approve the minutes from the December 11th, 2023 closed city council meeting.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the December 11, 2023 closed city council meeting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Item number 6 is the approval of the December 11, 2023 regular city council meeting minutes.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman
I
Mallons.
move to approve the minutes from the December 11th, 2023 regular city council meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of December 11, 2023. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes for the regular city council meeting of December 11 are approved. Item number 7, communications from the audience. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak this evening? Seeing none, we will move to item number 8, which is communications from city council. Start with Councilman Smith.
I have nothing this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Adams.
Mayor, no comments this evening.
All right. Councilman Garnos.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm always good for a couple. Had a Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting after our last council meeting. And besides hearing about the art that we just heard about in open session, we got updates on the Flora Park project, the 72nd Street Tennis Pickleball Court Conversion Project, and also the status of the AJ Farm Event Space Feasibility Study. So those were all good, and the group was very enthusiastic about the art piece. And I would also mention that next Tuesday, I'm double booked. Because of Martin Luther King Day, I've now got both BZA and Parks Board at 5:30 on Tuesday. So if anybody would like one of them, let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Spallo.
Yes, Mayor, I attended the Neighborhoods Commission meeting this past week, and really good meeting to start out the year. Had a couple of new appointees, Robin Downing and Kathleen, I can't remember, Depler, I can't remember her full name. Stearns, thank you. And had a really good conversation. Alan and Austin led a very good conversation with the Neighborhood Commission. And basically, I presented to them our goals and how we are looking to basically re-energize that board. So it was a good evening.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for taking that on.
Mhm.
I have no comments tonight, but we do need to go back to the city board and commission appointments. At our last meeting, I read those appointees. I'm going to do that again this evening, and then we'll take the opportunity to vote on those so that it will be official for our records. So the new appointments this year are for BZA, Cody McElroy, Capital Improvements Program, reappointment of Pete Hall, Beverly Johnson, and Bob Wilson. For Code Board of Appeals, reappointment of Kathy Timmerman. For Environmental Management Advisory Committee, reappointment of Jim Butler Jr. and Jared Cole. Neighborhood Commission, reappointment of Chris Spurgeon. And new appointment, as Mayor Pro Tem Spallo mentioned, of Robin Downing and Kathleen Depler Stearns. Parks and Recs Advisory Board, reappointment of Scott Hanover, Tammy McFerrin, and Jocelyn Rivard. Planning Commission, reappointment of Gary Markinson and Cameron Nave, and a new appointment of Joe Brancato. For Tax Increment Financing Commission, reappointment of Dave Stanley. And just one comment that we presented plaques at our last meeting to Aaron Brungart, Sarisa Jackson, and James New, who were retiring from their positions. Daniel Boyer from Board of Zoning and Dallas Asensio from EMAC were not here, so I wanted to be sure and mention their names as retiring members from our boards and commissions. So I will entertain a motion to accept these board and commission members.
Mayor Moore,
Mayor Pro Tem Spalo.
I would accept the slate of reappointees and new appointees to our boards and commissions.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the appointments and reappointments to our boards and commissions. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those appointments are made. We'll move to item number 9, which is communications from our city manager.
Not much from me tonight, other than a reminder that residents can dispose their real Christmas trees for free at Public Works from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Through Friday, January 12th. You just need proof of residency. That's all I have.
Thank you. We'll move to item number 10, which is the consent agenda. Madam Clerk, will you please explain and read the consent agenda?
A consent agenda allows the city council to consider and approve routine items of business without discussion. Any member of the city council, the city staff, or the public may request removal of any item from the consent agenda and request that it be considered under the regular agenda if discussion or debate of the item is desired. Items not removed from the consent agenda will stand approved upon motion by any council member. Second unanimous vote to approve the consent agenda as published or modified. Consent agenda. Appoint Sharon Mueller to the University of Missouri Extension Council for a term of 2 years, March 1st, 2024 through February 28th, 2026. Resolution R-24-01, a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept the proposal from Spaces Incorporated in the total amount of $321,789.23 for the purchase of office and council chamber furniture in conjunction with the City Hall renovation project. Consider financial report for 5 months ending November 30th, 2023.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes an item to be removed from the consent agenda for discussion? Anyone on the council? Staff?
No, Mayor.
Mayor Moore. Go ahead.
Councilman Smith?
Move to approve the consent agenda and submit.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed? The consent agenda is approved. And I would just make the comment that I spoke with Sharon Mueller today, and she had full intentions of coming tonight. When I saw what the weather was like, I phoned her back and said, Sharon, just take a break. We will appoint you. And so I think that she will come to one of our next council meetings. She has graciously accepted this term to serve on the University of Missouri Extension Council to replace Eugene Suter, who has had that position for the last 2 years. So I want to make sure that we honor Sharon, but I know that Eugene is planning to come to another meeting in January, so hopefully Sharon can come then and we can officially recognize her. We will move to the regular agenda, which tonight has 4 bills on it. So we'll start with the first one, which is first reading of bill number 24-01, an ordinance calling a general election for the election of 2 positions to the Gladstone City Council on Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024, describing the form of the ballot and directing the city clerk to submit certification of such election to the Clay County Board of Election Commissioners pursuant to revised statute state of Missouri 115.125.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Mallons.
I move to place bill number 24-01 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 24-01 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of placing bill number 24-01 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading bill number 24-01, an ordinance calling a general election for the election of 2 positions to the Gladstone City Council on Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024, describing the form of the ballot and directing the city clerk to submit certification of such election to the Clay County Board of Election Commissioners pursuant to revised statute, state of Missouri, 115.125.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Malams.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 24-01, waive the rule, place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 24-01, waive the rule and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of placing bill number 24-01 on its second reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading bill number 24-01, an ordinance calling a general election for the election of 2 positions to the Gladstone City Council on Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024, describing the form of the ballot and directing the city clerk to submit certification of such election to the Clay County Board of Election Commissioners pursuant to revised statute, state of Missouri, 115.125.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Malams.
I move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 24-01 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.657.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second reading of bill number 24-01 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.657. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Smith.
Aye.
Councilman Mellon.
Aye.
Councilman Garner.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Spell.
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. Bill number 24-01 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.657. Item number 12 is first reading of bill number 24-02, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the city of Gladstone, Missouri and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide IRIS public transportation services from January 1, 2024 through March 31, 2024.
Mayor Moore,
Mayor Pro Tem Spalo.
I move to place bill number 24-02 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 24-02 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 24-02 on its first reading, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading bill number 24-02, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the city of Gladstone, Missouri and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide IRIS public transportation services from January 1st, 2024 through March 31, 2024.
Mayor Moore,
Mayor Pro Tem Spalo.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 24-02, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 24-02, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of placing bill number 24-02 on its second reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading bill number 24-02, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the city of Gladstone, Missouri and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide IRIS public transportation services from January 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2024.
Mayor Moore,
Mayor Pro Tem Spalo.
I move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 24-02 and enact it as ordinance number 4.658.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second reading of bill number 24-02 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.658. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Smith.
Aye.
Councilman Mellon.
Aye.
Councilman Garner.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Spell.
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. Bill number 24-02 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.658. Item number 13, first reading of bill number 24-03, an ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 50 for non-supervisory commissioned police department personnel and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Malams.
I move to place bill number 24-03 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 24-03 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 24-03 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading bill number 24-03, an ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police /50 for non-supervisory commissioned police department personnel and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Nellens.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 24-03, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 24-03, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 24-03 on its second reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading bill number 24-03, an ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police /50 for non-supervisory commissioned police department personnel and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor,
Councilman Nellens.
I move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 24-03 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.659.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second reading of bill number 24-03 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.659. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Smith.
Aye.
Councilman Nellens.
Aye.
Councilman Garland.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Spello.
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. Bill number 24-03 stands enacted as ordinance 4.659. Item number 14, first reading bill number 24-04, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the city of Gladstone and the Mid-America Regional Council, MARC, Solid Waste Management District for the 2024 Regional Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program in the amount of $30,404.91.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Garnos.
I move to place bill number 24-04 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 24-04 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 24-04 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading bill number 24-04, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the city of Gladstone and the Mid-America Regional Council, MARC, Solid Waste District for the 2024 Regional Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program in the amount of $30,404.91.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Garnos.
move to accept the first reading of bill number 24-04, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 24-04, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 24-04 on its second reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading bill number 24-04, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the city of Gladstone and the Mid-American Regional Council, MARC, Solid Waste Management District for the 2024 Regional Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program in the amount of $30,404.91.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Garnos.
move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 24-04 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.660.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second reading of bill number 24-04 and enact the bill as ordinance 4.660. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Smith.
Aye.
Councilman Nellens.
Aye.
Councilman Garland.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Spello.
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. Bill number 24-04 stands enacted as ordinance 4.660. Is there other business to be brought before the council this evening? Seeing none, we are adjourned.